highway patrol to come pick me up. So there's a lot to the story, more so than I can say right now. But for the next time. Good times. Tijuana. ¿Qué ondas? And welcome back to your favorite Magic the Gathering, Latino-centric, hosted unapologetically, Puro Pinche Magic. Welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're here with us today. Bienvenidos a todos. Aquí de nuevo estamos con Bones of Calavera Cosplay and, of course, Joseph with One Land Hand. Esta semana es algo, siempre pasa algo, right? I feel like every week we get something. Like, I was literally last night thinking, what are we going to talk about? And out of nowhere, boom, we get Wizards announcing some craziness. But before we get into the craziness that is Wizards of the Coast, let's go ahead and round the table and give everybody some attention and some spotlight here. Remember, guys, you can follow the show at Puro Pinche Magic on all socials. And, of course, under the My Primos Productions umbrella, we got a lot for you. You know, we say these words, we are Latinos. We are proud of our culture, proud of our voices. Let's make ourselves seen and heard. That's what we're all about at My Primos Productions. And, of course, I want to kick it over to Bones. Bones, tell everybody who you are, where they can find you.
Yeah, I am Bones of Calavera Cosplay. I am an award-winning Magic the Gathering cosplayer, and obviously I'm a Latina, proud Mexican here. And yeah, I am Calavera _cosplay pretty much everywhere. Calavera Creations on Twitch, but yeah, lots of shenanigans, lots of Magic the Gathering and anime because those are my two loves. But yeah.
That's true. You had a chainsaw thing happen yesterday, right?
I signed up to be notified of early screenings. So we went to see the new Chainsaw Man Reze arc yesterday, and I am so happy. And just
no spoilers, all right? No spoilers, because then it gets fucked up. Because then people get mad at me. They're like, "Oh, you spoiled shit." I'm like, "Hey, I'm not. I'm gonna blame her."
I'm a very, very firm believer in no spoilers because I love me Jujutsu Kaisen, right? I love it. That fandom is the saltiest little bunch of motherfuckers ever because the amount of times, I've read it, I'm up to date. The amount of times half of y'all out there who are evil little suckers enjoy results of the books. I'm like, I'm about to fight you. I will go through the screen and I will fight you. Because I had something spoiled to me right as it happened, but I was in that is this a real thing? And then I it wasn't that big of a deal, but I was about to channel my mother here.
Don't do that here. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now before we move on to Joseph real quick. You know what? Me choca la gente que dice, I already read it. Me cae. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you then. Then go read your book. Don't worry about me then. Don't worry about what I'm watching. My wife is like you. She'll go, you know what? I'm going to go read the manga. And she'll read the manga or read the book and get ahead of me and then be holding it over my head. I'm all like, oh shit, you saw what happened? She's like, yeah, but do you want to know why? I'm like, no, don't tell me because I want to experience it. So, hey, you know what? If you're of that school, then you know what? Follow at Calavera _cosplay and you can chat about it.
Hold it over anybody. I keep my mouth shut. Like I said, I let Eli walk into Chainsaw Man completely blind.
Eli, you need to at me, all right? And tell me the truth. We're gonna have your part of the conversation on here, okay? If you're listening. But Joseph, let's go ahead and give everybody your shot, my friend, my amigo. I am so happy you're back, man. Thanks for making the time. It's early as hell for both of you guys, and I appreciate you making the time to come out here, have some coffee, y empezar a hablar sobre Magic, the game that brings us together. And go ahead, tell everybody about yourself and a little bit of how they can find you and your team.
Well, I'm Joseph, and I'm with the team One Land Hand. Nosotros grabamos Commander, estándar, tenemos podcast para jugadores nuevos. La mayoría del contenido realmente es para jugadores nuevos, new players that want to learn about Magic the Gathering. Y estamos en todas las redes, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Moxfield, wherever you want to find us, One Land Hand. And we also organize tournaments for different brackets. We've done bracket 3. We're going to be doing a CEDH tournament soon. So all of the stuff related to Magic, Commander, we love it, and we love to join the community. That's what we're doing here.
Comunidad. You know what? I have a question for you. Something before we get into all the wizardness craziness. Since you sé que la mayoría de tu contenido es para nuevos jugadores de Magic, right? Como interesar los que vengan, que entren. que intenten, porque es un juego que los fascina, los encanta, y hemos encontrado
Yeah.
mucha comunidad, ¿verdad? Muchos amigos. Hemos crecido de esto porque nos encanta. Y mira, este juego los ha unido a mucha gente de todas partes del mundo. Y es algo bonito, algo bien bonito. What
Sí.
would you say is, okay, off your shoulder, everybody, right here. What's one thing you would tell a brand new player to not do? I'm stealing this from Magic Onenya because they've done a whole little clip
Ooh.
about this and I loved it. And I think that's a good thing here since you're talking about new players. What's one thing that you should tell new players to not do? Bones,
To
go with you.
not do.
To
Not do.
not do. To not do.
Easy. Don't start with Commander.
What?
Don't
just
start with Commander.
Whatever. Go. Why? Why?
Commander it's like people think it's going to be the easiest thing because they're like, oh, it's singleton. You don't have to worry about like the multiple things. But the reality is that they have 100 cards. Like I have decks that are my babies and I love them. And I still pull cards that I'm like, when in the world did I put that in there? And it's the multiplayer is nice because you can talk to people, but that also means that they're trying to learn threat assessment. And with 4 different things going on, they're already trying to figure out what's in their hand. There's like 4 other, like a bunch of board states happening. Half the time, if you're playing kitchen table Magic, you're not playing at an optimized table where you can actually look at other people's like hands. And it's just so varied that I feel like it's really hard for new players to like truly learn. I would say start with Jumpstart. If you're going to start with anything, start with Jumpstart. I have feelings.
Okay.
You do.
Okay.
I mean, I disagree. I think that I'll give you my 2 cents and I'll toss this to Joseph. I think that Commander actually allows you, especially since Commander is a format in which you're playing with the group, and usually in that group they are conversationalists, they talk. But you're right. People can tend to over-explain things. People can tend to go too deep, right? Like I think, and if you ask me what somebody starting out should do, I think you should play Arena. You learn Brawl, and you kind of work your way up the ladder. That's what I think. But Joseph, what about you, my friend? What are your 2 cents on Bones' statement, just to kind of give it a fair shake?
I think I agree on both sides because Magic is overwhelming in general. With whether it be products, learning to play the game, interactions, but it depends mostly on first of all, if you have friends that play Magic, like close friends that can instruct you and like, hey, we usually play this and we can teach you how to play Magic. So it's an easier like. Because if you don't have any friends and you're just learning on your own, I think Arena is perfect just to get a hang of what it is and then get into your community, start asking around where to play. But both are correct. I mean, if you have a good friend group that's willing to play, hey, we got some precons, we can play some Commander and we'll teach you how to play. And then start from there. I think both are correct. I agree with both. But it depends on your community.
Y dime tú, ¿y tú qué le considerarías a un nuevo jugador que no hiciera? Like, ¿de qué no hacer? Like a mistake maybe that you said, you know what? Don't do this.
This is what I tell everyone, and don't buy sealed product immediately, at least.
Yeah. Easier said than done, man. Don't buy sealed
it depends.
product.
I can talk about it. Yeah, for sure. But
no, please don't. I mean, give me a little bit. Yeah.
I'll go quick on it. But if you're buying sealed product, I only to myself, if I'm buying sealed product, I'm looking for at least 20 plus more cards from that set. Because if I'm looking for under that quantity of cards and the set is like 500 cards, I should not be buying that set. Because the cool thing about Magic is that they'll release the list of the cards that are coming out. You know what's in it. You know what you want. You know the colors, which is crazy, which is awesome. So, yeah, it depends if you're a gambler.
True. You know what? I would my pushback, if anything, if we're talking about don't buy sealed product, but you're wanting to learn how to play. Like you said, let's say you're on. It's not a bad place to start because there are like what is those learn to play Magic decks. You know, they're like $20. Like you can, the two
Oh, okay,
standard little decks,
those
whatever
are
they
fine,
are.
or precons. Those are like
Yeah, like little
okay.
precons, and I mean, and precons to an extent, because precons can get super expensive, and then you're always like, oh shit, I
Yeah.
overspent, and then I hate this game, right? You never know, right? Como va a salir la cosa, right? But I think that buying sealed product is a hard lesson to learn. Pero man, that habit dies hard because I'm from that old school. I'm from that old before they released the whole list and buying packs and cracking them. And I think you're right. I give you that one. If nowadays you can tell if you're gonna like a
Hmm.
set, if you're really excited about a set, and you know what, man, if I just want to crack some uncommons, but let's be real here. I think we can all agree across the board. Buying singles is much more affordable than buying boosters or buying packs or buying sealed product. That's just the case. Period. Point
Yeah.
blank. Especially don't buy things if I have to piggyback off yours, don't buy things at pre-order, like the pre-order prices on things, especially singles,
Ooh,
because the
yes.
hype the hype is nasty on these cards. A week or two, a card can go from $50 down to $2 in a matter of weeks, like that
Yup.
fast. And so don't, if you're not gonna buy product, buy singles after a new set releases. That would help. A caveat that you were saying, Bones.
Nothing pug scratching at the door.
Well, get them, let them in.
I know, but I didn't want
Let
to
them in.
step up in the middle of your chat.
Was it 20 seconds?
You're fine. That's 20 seconds that we'll just cut. It's fine. Like this, look. I'm gonna show the editor. Like we're like cut.
Sorry, Bella, I just kicked you in the face.
You're okay.
I'll just snap here.
There you go. Look, my thumbs are getting better, guys. My thumbs are getting better.
Yay!
Nah, oh, you don't have the thing anymore on it.
I don't have it anymore. But look, I can bend them.
Woo! Pound it. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right. But yeah, that's what I would say. It's gonna pick up again. To piggyback off what Joseph says, I agree that yeah, buy sealed product, especially if you know the cards you want, because you're gonna save yourself money. But don't buy at the hype price, the pre-order price. That's the worst gamble, in my opinion, over buying a booster. Because I'd rather spend the $6 on a booster. God, I hate that it's $6-7 now. Used to be 3 to 4. That over buying $50 for a card that's so hyped, and then it just crashes completely, and you're sitting there thinking, I spent $50 on this. But hey, a good friend of mine told me one time. He goes, "You bought the card you wanted, and you have fun with it, right? Then you shouldn't really be mad at yourself about it. But at the same time, it's $50. Then you turn around a month later, it's $2. It hurts."
Could you imagine being the people who bought the Spider-Man collector boosters?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yikes.
Took a nosedive
Ouch.
bad.
Ouch.
That was a
No
tank.
disrespect. There are some Magic the Gathering like big names on the web. They're doing giveaways recently, but it's Spider-Man giveaways. Have you noticed? They're doing like, hey, I built these decks. And but they're Spider-Man decks. And it's like, okay. For me, I think my 2 cents, what I would tell them to not do, I would not want to, it's hard. I really would stay away from, we talked about it last week, copying decks. I really believe in starting from the ground up, building your own, or buy a precon. Like I said, okay, buy a precon, or let's start from the bottom and work your way up. Pick a commander or a spell you enjoy. My first commander that I ever built, this was way back when EDH was a thing, right? I was like barely starting out in back rooms and shit. Was Savra, Queen of the Golgari. Do you guys know this card? It's a 4-drop elf, 2/2, and it reads. It was my favorite card for a while because I loved playing Ravnica. This was like way old school Ravnica, and it reads: if you were to sacrifice a black creature, pay 2 life, and then target opponent sacrifices a creature. If you sacrifice a green creature for any reason, you gain 2 life. So you basically can find a way to do a multiple. Like if you do a hybrid card, which we're going to talk about, hybrid black-green token or what have you, you level out, you clear the field, And so that was I built a deck around that. Failed miserably, mind you, because it wasn't optimized to what people were playing at the time and what Commander was or EDH was at the time. But I hold that experience, you know what? I enjoy that. We talked about it last time. I enjoy brewing. I love going through my kilo and looking up stuff. And so for me, That's what I would say. I wouldn't say necessarily come down and copy decks. Like, don't jump on EDH Rec so quickly. Like, just because they tell you, hey, go to EDH Rec and look at decks. You can look at decks, research, sure, but try to avoid just copying. Take some bits and pieces, get some advice to some friends, especially if you're playing in a group. Go from there. But don't just copy decks outright. You're going to spend money, energy, time, and guess what? You may not even like it. You may even go, I don't like this deck. I don't like these colors, right? Bones doesn't play blue.
Yeah.
You know, what if someone just says, hey, build this deck because you have to? It's like, well, shit, I have to now, right? But hey, there's our 2 cents on what not to do. But go check out Magic with an Enya. They had this whole segment. So it was pretty fun too as well. But all right, guys. So the main topic here to move along. I know how we kill it. We love to talk here. Puro Pinche Magic.
Witty.
Is the announcement from Wizards. They had an announcement. Was it yesterday on Theater? I forget. It was as of the 22nd, 21st. They announced some removals of the game changers from the list, as well as bracket changes and the potential of hybrid cards, meaning the cards that have the or color, like or black or green, which I'll show on screen here so everybody can kind of get an idea. And so the conversation, went, come on, computer. Mira, ¿cómo va? Tal cosa. All right. So I'm sharing now. There we go. All right. So we have some of these right here are some of the most popular hybrid cards. And so what's being considered is allowing, instead of these color symbols that we see in the top right corner being, you know, and you know, within that sequence, the word or, let's focus on the or part, right? So black, green, right? Black, green, red, etc. But there are certain caveats to it, like we see right there with Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman is excluded from this because of the fact that in the body we have the phrases, right? Black or green. This identity will always be there. So that he has to be in a black, green, or a black, you know, black or green deck because of both colors. He has to be in Golgari. But in the other scenario, look at Stomp. Stomp. It's one colorless, a red or green, which means that you can play this card in a mono red deck, for example, or a mono green, or some other combination that has red. So let's think about that for a second, meaning that if you run an Is It deck, you can run this card in there because it shares or red as opposed to having to be red, both color identities. And then we have the examples of like Beseech the Queen, which is a colorless, which I'm trying to see if it comes up here, a colorless and black. It can be run in a colorless deck, you know, like an Eldrazi deck, for example. But like Manamorphose has been brought up a lot online as one of those cards that, you know, add 2 mana in any color combination. And you draw a card in red. Think about this. Bones, if you run a mono red and you literally for 2 can add 2 mana and draw, it's for free in red. You know what I mean? So let's put it out there before we get into the bracket conversation. But how do we feel about the potential? Because it's not guaranteed. This is just a potential because they're doing like different surveys and stuff to see, you know, if it's worth it or people want it or not. What is everybody's thoughts regarding the hybrid colors potentially being the or instead of the and?
Okay. You want to go first?
Start it off, man.
So you can go first.
Okay, so I like the idea for like lower brackets, but for higher brackets, like in competitive, I think it gets really complicated and you're giving lots of tools to some really strong decks that are already strong. And I mean, I'm talking about like bracket 4 or 5. Like I think it's a really cool system to work on for like lower brackets, definitely, for sure. Because of the things you said, you know, like Manamorphose becomes a crazy card for any red deck, like specifically, or green deck in a sense. Ashiok, the Planeswalker, it gets incredibly crazy as well.
You play it in mono black, dude. That's graveyard hate in mono blue, like control. Like it doesn't have. It can be. Imagine running Ashiok in an Izzet deck. Imagine running that
Jesus.
in your. It's
you have a
insane.
silence.
Like, it's
You know,
crazy.
nobody can search, and you're playing is it, and you're just slinging spells. They're not searching. You're playing stacks now, in those colors, and all the companions, for example, Loris, Zerta, they get insane value. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it, depending on the bracket. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Bones?
Yeah, I feel like I was trying to figure out how I felt about it because I somehow missed that in my preparation for said movie. And I think there's bits of it that I do like and bits of it that I don't like. I like the fact that a lot of these cards tend to be very much in their colors. Like they're both, but they are or because you can pay either mana for it. But like you said, the Metamorphosis, it's draw 2 cards, which is a very, very red thing. Like 90% of my Chandras have, discard a card, draw 2 cards or something like that. And then green, which is like the mana creation. But I feel like the lower cards, I feel like I'm like, yeah, that's really good. But once we start getting into like the higher cards, I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. So maybe tying it to a bracket would not be a bad thing. Like, I like the idea for helping your deck fill out and like help you with like ramp or things like that. Because like for me, my mono red Chandra deck, I struggle with creatures. That's just what it is because it's so much Chandras. That's on me. But that's why that deck is janky.
Yeah.
That like I would not mind maybe having some of those like smaller cards that like would help me, but then I don't know. I feel like I'll say this a lot. Restriction breeds creativity. So I don't think it can be a bad thing, but I also think that it is a little bit of like an easy out for more powerful cards. So I might have to brew on this one a little bit longer.
No. I mean, it's so new, right? At the same
Mhm.
time, por eso estamos aquí, right? Let's talk about it because this is
Yeah,
what the
it's
community cares about, right? Hey, you know what? We predominantly, most people that listen to this show play Commander, right? Not to say they don't play Limited or Draft, right? And plus, in Limited they have their own restrictions, their own rules, right? And Commander being the choice for most people, right? Not everybody, but most people, they enjoy it. My thoughts on this is kind of similar to what you're saying. I love the idea of, hey, there should be no fucking ban list. There should be no restrictions. Go fucking nuts. Like for me, like go build whatever you want. Now we have that rule 0 conversation of like, hey, you're gonna play the asshole deck. You know what? I'll play this deck instead, or I won't. I don't want to play that deck. Let's just be real. If you want to be that guy, like you said, you're the higher tier guy, and you're playing at those tables, then go nuts, dude. Go crazy. Like build what the most amazing, ridiculous thing that pops off on turn 2, as most already do, right? Go nuts. I think
Mhm.
that I can echo what everybody's saying. What Joseph's thought was like, if we tie it to a lower bracket, I think it will work really well because it does breed that like creativity, especially for a new player, right? A new player comes in and goes, "Oh, I can play this in either a red or white deck. Cool." You don't have to have that conversation of like, actually, no, it has to be those 2 colors. Can't you start muchos peros. You put so many barricades in front of la gente, they kind of get like, okay, hold on, I gotta keep track of what now. There's more like this color and then not colors and then what's the void, and then we go into this whole, you know. So then
Yeah.
I like the idea of that. I think I echo that with you all. We're listening to it because my initial gut reaction was like, "That's cool. I have a bigger pool of cards to play with that are sitting in my kilo. Just kind of like, okay, fuck it. Let me see what I can mess with, what I can build." But yes, you're also giving people like, I mean, what was that? You're giving these other colors access to other things that maybe they wouldn't necessarily have access to on their own, and it really will skew because we've talked about this in the past where standard has a meta, right? Legacy has a meta, certain things have a meta, modern has a meta, and then even slowly in the once Bear gets on here, I know he's more on that side of things, CEDH has like auto includes. You have to, if you're playing CEDH, you have to run these cards hands down, no matter what. You have to put
Yeah.
them in there, become staples. it kind of shoos me away from playing at that level personally. Don't get me wrong. I want to be competitive. I want to be with the big boys, right? I want to do all that. But at the same time, if you're giving them now 20 more cars that they couldn't run, and now it's going to elevate it even higher, it just feels like a fucking bridge too far that you're never going to reach, you know?
Yeah.
So I did read something online, and somebody commented saying that it's a ploy to get more value out of cards monetarily, because a lot of those hybrid cards at one point, especially some of the not the partner cards, right? We talked about, was it partners? The
Yeah,
what was it called?
companions.
Thank you. A lot of the companions, when those came out, companion cards were hybrid cards, and they had special, unique builds around them. Hey, you have to have all spells, you have to have all evens, all this. But and those cards kind of dropped and waned whenever they changed the rule about that. So they're saying that not only that companions, but just allowing a lot of these multicolored cards, that people saying, oh well, hey, in my bracket or in my play group or in most games, nobody's running these color combinations, but it's a sick card. But now with that being an or option as opposed to and, it opens it up. So I'm of both schools. I think that if we can tie it to a lower bracket where we understand, hey, this is going to have these cards, but the downside about that, well, let me give credit to the community, right? If you're playing at the highest bracket, you're okay with complicated rule sets and understandings and restrictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the lower brackets, I think it's a great entryway to kind of let you in, let you play, and you go, hey, if you want to graduate to this level, this changes up. Now there are these restrictions. You can't play those hybrid colors anymore. Now you're within this bubble. And I think, like you said, Bones, that promotes that creativity, that kind of higher brow level. So I think that, if anything, we all echo that. I think, is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think that's I think that's a fair statement to make, because it's interesting to me that they're saying we want to increase the pool, but when you look at Magic, I Googled this, prepared for this exact moment. There are over 27,000 unique cards in Magic. So you're saying in 27,000 cards, there isn't something that you can't find that can do, even if it's 2 cards, there isn't something you can find. And it's not to say that it's a bad thing, but yeah, I like that idea of lower brackets. Sure, lower brackets to me feel like they're there to have fun. And it's just, what level of fun do you want to have? Do you really want to have a janky broken deck that is limping along, and that's totally fine? Or do you want to have still, it's a funky weird concept, but it's a little bit more higher powered, a little more optimized? But yeah, give us credit where credit is due. At some point, we're gonna make you work for your laurels, and I think that's not a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, originally, I'm assuming all these hybrid cards were created for the guilds they're a part of. The
Shards,
that's
those
what
were the
that
time of shards of
combination.
Alara.
That's the
All the splinters,
exactly.
because back in the day when we cared about story, it was about shards and different facets of it, But hey, keep going.
Yeah, I think some people are gonna be not on par with the hybrid stuff being released for every color, because they want to keep that intact, the pureness of hey, no, but that's not what Boros does. I mean, it stays in that color combination. So there's also that shit in the I guess the market value of these cards could go up. I don't know, maybe.
I think it's gonna happen, man. Because look, when Pioneer came out, this fucking random ass commons and dollar rares shot up because of Pioneer. Because of these random wow, this format's taking off, it's popular, and boom, shit started popping off. And it's same thing with Commander. When Commander became the format, tons of stuff shot up in price, and here we are, right?
Yeah.
We're all fighting over. What was it? Snuff Out was like a $15 card at one point. Yeah, it was like $15 for a Snuff Out. Snuff Out, $15. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm just saying.
Let me see.
Well, Ristic Study is like $50-$60 right now, and it was a common. It was a common originally.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It was a common. Ristic Study was a common. Gibson Given. I had a fucking 9 of them on my little like fucking little trapper keeper gifts ungiven, and now I can't find. I have 2 of them, and I can't find where the fuck the rest of them are. Now they're worth some money. You know what I mean? Like you're like no one played these cards, but in Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's where my where I started from, we played stuff like it drop shift on the graveyard. You know, can give me 2 because I needed to get to my combo, right? I digress. You know, this is not a Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
talk. Maybe
yeah.
we'll have a Puro Pinche Yu-Gi at some point. Pero not right now. Right now we're Puro Pinche Magic, okay? Puro Pinche Magic. So we'll keep it there in La Magia. So yeah, I think that's a good moving on point here about the brackets. We talked about that because they're changing it. So Joseph, I don't know if you, I mean I'm not putting you on the spot. You're having a tournament. Is this going to change?
Yes, yes, yes,
Because
yes,
this is
yes.
not official, or it's going to change for you guys.
We're still having chit chat about the bracket 3 stuff. I think bracket the tournament we have coming up is CDH, so that really doesn't change much of what's going to happen. But for bracket 3, I guess we do have to talk a little bit some details, like the turns when people are expected to win, and the combos, the quantity of cards that you can combo with before those turns. It's even though they cleared it up, it still feels like it could go. How do you say it? Like you could misinterpret it a little bit. It's
Can
still
I
there.
play
There's a thin
I'll play
line.
devil's advocate because here's me. Like in
Yeah.
sports, right? We've all watched the sport or at least enjoy a sport. Depending on the early rounds, you can sandbag a little bit, you know, and kind of hold on. So I may have the play fucking 3 win right here, pero me aguanto un ratito and then boom, I'll pop it off in turn 5 or 6. Just to
Yeah, that's what we
qualify.
said.
Yeah, just to
Yeah,
qualify
that's
it.
what we want.
Okay, cool. Because that'd be the way to do it, right? I
Yeah,
mean, if
exactly.
you really want to play and like you said, it's like, hey, let's slow the fuck down. Let's slow the games down a little bit so we can kind of do the thing, right? We talked about it. I want my deck to do the thing. But if I'm killed in turn 3, then okay, fuck. There's no fun. There's no point. I
Yeah,
pay my money
but
and my time and it's dead.
but it depends on how you were killed. Like most of the play groups that I'm in are talking about Voltron. That usually it'll take a setup, a slow setup of putting the creature down, equipping it, and then attacking. So it does take a while, and then if you die before that turn that you're expected to lose and or win turn 6, I mean it should be fair that a creature that is on the board for 3 turns and it's still not able to kill you with commander damage, if it's still there and you didn't remove it, I think it's fair that you would take the loss before those turns. So I think most of the changes are they clear some of these rules up, but I think we're going to be maintaining the same mindset of, okay, you know what, any infinite lock combo, winning combo, just leave it for turn 6. And yeah, I think it feels the same.
Bones, I know we talked a little bit about it too offline, but like, how do you feel about this change up? I mean, level 1 is exhibition. Decks prioritize a goal or theme or idea over power, and we flash forward to what used to be considered the pre-con level, which was always a bullshit category in my opinion, because there's some sick ass precons out there. The upgraded, you know, 3, you know, decks are expected to power up with strong synergy, high card quality. They can effectively disrupt opponents. And then it says 0 to 3 game changers. I know we'll talk about game changers here. No mass land denial, no chaining extra turns, and no 2 card combos before turn 6, all the way to CDH. Like Joseph was saying, what are your thoughts on this changeup?
I actually think this is a really good change up because I think the defining or getting rid of the pre-con I think is a good example. I think it was Mental Misplay who was talking about it on one of his posts on Instagram, that precons themselves have a like internal bracket system, for lack of better words. And he was saying that like old precons, like very old precons, make sense. Like that squarely fits into what they were thinking, right? And then there was like universe, like the Fallout, like not Universes Beyond, but like the like special precons. Those were on a different level, you know, like they were definitely not as like, for lack of a better word, bad as like true precons, you know, but they were like definitely like out of the box. They were
You know what's the
powerful.
worst precon, in my opinion, because I hate playing against it, and it's good
Mothman?
out the box? Mothman's fucked up. Pero
I love that
oh
deck.
my god, I'm gonna look it up. The fucking owl from Strixhaven. The black-white one?
Magda? Maha?
I think it's Magda. Yeah, that fucking thing,
Not
man.
Magda.
The one where,
Magda's
like,
a different one, but it's like
no,
something
black-white.
like that.
That one where pretty much whenever you attack an opponent with more life than you,
Mm-hmm.
where is this thing?
Brina?
Silver Quill.
Yeah,
Oh,
different
this-
owl. Different owl. You're talking about Strixhaven.
Yeah, Brina. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brina.
yeah,
Brina.
Brina. Yeah.
But Brina,
Okay.
Brina, because it's like that deck is overpowered, dude. It has Ink Shield in it. It has tons of fucking cards that are like, if you want to run some annoying ass white protection
Mhm.
and some annoying ass black, like just like fuck you cards, they're in there. On top of that thing gets big so fast. It's a 1/3, but won't turn around the fucking table. That thing's huge. It gets 2+2. It gets 2+1+1 counters if you attack somebody with more life than somebody else on the field.
Yeah.
So that thing grows
Yeah,
pretty
it's
fast,
really
especially
good.
if you're an aggressive pod.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just the level of precons have increased greatly. So if I remember correctly, what he was saying was like there's old precons which just tended to not be great. You know, I feel like they were an introduction and it helped you build your collection, et cetera, et cetera. And then there were those like specialty precons that were like definitely really good. And then there's the like fast forward to now precons, which are just insane. Like the Final Fantasy ones, like right out of the box, were just like, yikes! Like this is not a bracket 2.
Titus is a
Yeah, Edge of
dope deck
Eternity's-
out the box, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
yeah?
like the new
Dude,
precon
The-
powers
those are
are
crazy.
just like ridiculous.
Proliferate
Jund
one is sick.
fucking crazy. They're both fucking crazy, but I think the Jund one is a bit above it just because it destroys lands. It has an infinite. It has great quality cards like the Git Rug monsters in the deck. I don't know, man. They went
Yeah.
crazy with that deck.
Yeah, and I think it's good to just get. I think it was good to get away from just like, oh, because it's a precon it means that it's not optimized, it's not good. It's just not a reality anymore. It used to be, but not so much. And then I like the fact that they have a very clear distinction of what a bracket 4 and a bracket 5 is. Like they've actually kind of gone in and were able to like from the moment they came out with brackets, I think brackets are great. I truly think so, rather than like a power, like just saying what power your deck is. But I could never wrap my head around what the difference between a 4 and a 5 is. I was like, I get that it's CEDH, but what's the difference between a 4 and a CEDH? Like, what is the actual like difference?
I mean, right here, what is that? No restrictions to play at least 4 turns of bracket 4 before anyone wins or loses.
Mhm.
4 turns,
Yeah.
basically, like hold your ammo till game 4. Gameplay to be explosive and powerful. Then it was a deck to be lethal, consistent, and fast.
Mhm.
So it's like win conditions vary from everything. Game quick as fast as possible. And then CEDH, I mean, because to be fair, 4 sounds very CEDH, but then we go to level 5. I mean, what's the biggest difference here, guys? Let me look at it. I'm barely like trying to make sense of it. Meticulously designed to battle in CEDH.
It follows the meta because, like you said, there are auto includes, and I was like, I don't know much about CEDH, but I do know Thassa Oracle is in like every blue deck.
Every fucking deck, yeah. Except mine, by the way.
And
I guess I'm not CEDH.
so the win conditions to be optimized for efficiency and consistency. I think that is fair. Gameplay to be intricate and advanced with razor thin margins for error. Players prioritize victory. And then the big thing is games could end on any turn. So to me, reading this, now Raga Draga being a 4 makes way more sense to me. Because I always was just like Raga Draga is like somewhere in the middle, just because I don't have a lot of game changers. I don't have land destruction, you know, but like I can see it now. I can see how Raga Draga is I can see how Raga Draga is a bracket 4 because I have gotten him big and beefy by turn 4. If I'm hitting those mana dorks, I've cast like a 6-drop to start doing the Raga Draga thing. doesn't mean I win, but like I'm very clearly a threat by turn 4. But it's not consistent enough that I can do that every time I grab my deck. You know, I'll play it the next time and I'll be
Yeah.
like, dang, I need to get way, way more before I can get it. And I think this is a better distinction of those two levels. And I do like that they include like themes, because I don't actually know what Eli's Geom deck is, but he's my favorite example for like somebody who's prioritizing themes over like gameplay. So Eli has a Geom Master Chef deck, and it was one of his first decks that he made when he started deck building. And it's my favorite deck that he plays because it's his Dungeon Master deck. Everything in the deck is based around him being able to tell a story, because he's our forever DM, and he'll play it and he'll pick cards that are, you're like, why in the world do you have that? And then he'll chain it into a story and you're like, that's why you have it. Like, there's probably a better card somewhere, but Eli picked the like theme appropriate card so that he could be like, well, every chef needs good produce, so we're gonna go find the whatever peasant. He'll chain an entire story.
So he's gonna run the cabbage salesman from Avatar.
You want to talk about
Crazy card, by the way.
not knowing,
Yes, right?
Like missing an opportunity just because you had no clue, right? Because who would have thought Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Cabbage Man would have been in, you know, Magic the Gathering? What was it now? Like 3 or 4 years ago, Eli decided to change his handle to have it be more magic-y. Irony, right? The irony here, to have it be more Magic the Gathering. Eli's old handle was My Cabbages. It was like M4Ys. Like, we elongated it. And we're just like, yeah, we're going to switch it to something more magic. And now I'm like, no, you could have still been the Cabbage
That's
Man.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
You could have sold it.
He could have sold it. He could have sold it. It's a trip, but you know, like the defining of the brackets, I think is something that I'll be fair to you. Like when this first started happening, I was just very like, I'm not gonna keep track of this shit. I don't care. You know, whatever. Like I'm gonna play my game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If the table doesn't like it, then I'll learn. Okay, cool. Hey, I won't play this deck anymore. I'll learn as I go. You know. But I think that there is something to be said, especially when you're playing in mixed company, or if you go to an local card shop, or if you're playing in a tournament. Yeah, you need to know these things. So yes, definitely a great guide to help kind of make the games fun, make them feel inclusive, make them feel, you know, not so. You know what you're walking into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as you have that understanding in the brackets, I think that it's a great thing, a great change. Now, when I look at my team or my pod when we play, we don't necessarily go that route, but we do avoid. I would say in this center, looking at the brackets here, I'd fall level 3 or 4. You know, in that range, even with whimsical stuff or stuff. But I doubt I'd jump into 5 because I don't have the auto includes that we talked about. Which kind of brings me to the next topic. While I look it up, is the game changer. So there was some changes to kind of help this along, removing a ton of cards from the game changers, which I'm all for. Please, while I look up the list, you guys tell me your thoughts on game changers and the change of that. How about you, Joseph? Let's start there.
They're going to keep updating this, and they're going to keep track of all these cards. They test, they listen to the public, and I mean, they accept the mistakes. Like, hey, maybe we're a little too hasty to put this in the game changers list, and so now they're taking it out. So I think it's healthy. So just to more of letting people know which cards, when they see them, immediately know, like, oh, this is a powerful card, or this isn't as a powerful card, and like keep track of that, like for newer players trying to define what bracket they're in. So I think they did they removed some crazy cards, like Food Chain, Deflecting SWAT was some of the craziest
here we go.
ones.
So we got Food Chain, again, Food Chain, 2 in green. Exile a creature you control, add X mana of any one color, where X is 1 plus the exiled creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast a creature. It's 3
on its
fucking
own,
mana.
It does nothing.
It's 3
on its
mana.
own, it does nothing. Yeah.
I mean, Dude, I mean, it's the fact that it's in green and it can go in most any deck, right? I mean, you talked about expropriate, Urza, deflecting SWAT.
Urza.
It kind of opens it up to where, like you said, hey, I want to play with these commanders now. As long as I can fall into those later categories now, and like things like Wynota, Keenan, which I don't, Yuriko. Which Yuriko, to be fair, I'm a Yuriko player. Like you're an instant target, especially if you don't have anybody that's high powered. You're an instant target as soon as Yuriko's on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we bring down the energy,
I'm not letting you reveal
she's
any
not
cards
such a
from the
game
top, bro.
changer.
I actually
on.
like the fact of like highlighting these like strongest commanders. Because as you said, Joseph, like it makes it easier for new players to know. So like I think I mentioned this on the last podcast of we have friends who are starting to learn magic, right? And one of my friend's wife, she's a big Fallout person. So when they found out, they're like, oh, there's Fallouts. I feel like me as an entrenched player, it is my responsibility to let players be aware of commanders with baggage. I'm not saying they're not allowed to play it, but like I am not being a good friend and a good magic player if I'm not preparing you for the feelings that may happen if you sit down at a random table, you know? Like as you said, there are instant targets. I don't think it's necessarily like right, but it helps players know, hey, these are powerful cards. And then if they sit down at a table and they're like, wow, people are targeting me, they're like, yeah, I'm playing a strong commander, you know?
I'll be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Wynota for
Yeah.
me is an instant fucking kill as soon as I see it. I have every time I played against Wynota, it's been a fucking ball. I hate it. I sit there just waiting to die because it's like, okay, just hurry up and summon the whole deck. You know what I mean? So I get it. And with Yuriko, yeah, but it's fucked up because I never even get to. It's like I get targeted immediately just because of the reputation.
Yeah,
but it also, I mean, you play blue and black, right, Joseph? I mean, I don't know if you run a Yuriko, but like, what's your feelings on stuff like that?
All of my friends that have played Yuriko have had the same experience, and yeah, it's definitely an instant target because one, you don't know what it's going to reveal from the top. It might be a 15 mana cost card. Everybody takes 15, and he adds it to the hand. It's slow. If it's built to win, it can definitely smack you pretty quickly. But
I mean, so what? I run scroll rack. I run sensitive divining top. Doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah, it's easy, but yeah. But if it's, I think someone built like a tribal ninja deck that was fun. It would reveal ninjas, like small ninjas from the top, and put them on the board and stuff. That was different, but in the card on its own, it's pretty fucking strong.
Yeah,
it is. I'll admit it. But the thing, going back to this, like I said beforehand, I'm of the mind of like, you know what? In Commander, there shouldn't be a banned list. Like, hey, it is what it is. Like, your goal is it's competitive, or you're having fun with theme decks, right? You're either having a fun theme deck, a great game board night, a board game night, or tabletop night, and you're just having some fun, right? Doing some shenanigans, right? But when it comes to competitive and you're out there talking, you want to fucking win against the best. I'm that way. Like, I don't want to, if I lose to a great deck, let's say I take, someone does have a Wynota deck, but it wows the fuck out of me. I'm like, damn, okay, cool. Now I know what to expect next time. And I got to bring my game up. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I'm not mad at it. I'm annoyed at times, but I'm not mad at it. And it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
But some of my friends at my table, like I said beforehand, they get salty and mad and fucking don't te quieren ni hablar, right? But like, it's just the sad truth. But when these type of games, when you get so invested, your emotions get wrapped up into it. But that's my idea. And game changers for me, let them all, just let everything be a game. And then what? Like, Ristic Study is a game changer, but now they're talking about banning it outright. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think game changers shouldn't exist for bracket 5. Just that bracket.
Oh.
I don't think they're really
in general.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think ban cards should exist for like the top like that's what you're going for. But like I didn't think game changers were important in the new bracket system for 4 and 5. No, I didn't see it at the bottom. It didn't say anything about it.
No, it's not, but everything else it does. Yeah, the lower brackets, so like 3 and below. I
think for lower brackets, that is totally fair. Like I said, it helps people know this is a powerful card, and it helps it helps new players have a better rule zero conversation. You know, like it used to be, I became friends with like our new people who are playing Magic at their wedding. They had Magic people, so I actually brought Jumpstart and we played Magic at their wedding. And we were having a conversation, and she's still a little bit newer, and she's like, "Oh, I love this. I love having my Kalia deck." And I was like, I was like, it's not a bad thing, but again, it's just you're a newer player, right? And she's like, this is a really powerful card. I'm like, yeah, she's really powerful for a reason. She's really, really good. And I think that helps new players be like, get a better understanding of what true power they have in their deck. So when they sit down and go, I just have this deck, and it's like, no, you don't just have a little deck. You know, you have a 3, a 4, and because you're
And
new,
you know
you're
what?
not
You
aware
also
of it.
les das animals, right? Like you're hyping them up too, especially since they're new and they could play with these high power cards and then they can pop off. You're like that. It's like showing somebody your favorite movie for the first time.
Mhm.
Like for them, like, oh shit, like when you're like, hey, you're gonna want to do this, and then when it pops off, that feeling of like all the synergies hit, everything hits at the same time, and you're like, wow, like I did that. You want that for your friends. You want that
Mhm.
for somebody learning. So I guess allowing them with those game, or allowing them to play in that pool, because lowering or taking them off the game changers list allows for them to maybe play with those powerful cards a lot easier.
Yeah, and it's not letting them, it's not saying you can't play with them, but it's just helping you understand what your deck is trying to do. And like for me and Eli, our favorite way when we have the rule zero conversation is we ask our friends, what is your deck trying to do? Because a lot of people, and I feel like the clarification of the bracket system will probably help with this, but a lot of people don't fully know how to explain their deck in a way to tell them like where it should fall. But if you ask them what is the story your deck is trying to tell or what's it trying to do, you can get a better idea of what power it actually is. You know, Braga Draga, I can get somewhere by turn 4, but not consistently. So I usually tell people it's definitely more in the 4 bracket, but like there's days where I pilot it and it's a 3, you know, or I can choose to slow it down. So when I play on stream, I'll usually ask people, how do we feel about infinite combos? They're like, yes, but not before this turn or this, or they're like, no, I don't want infinite combos. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. I have 2, and I know to not like, I just know not to pop it off.
Joseph, what about you, man? I know you don't speak for everybody there, but what do you see in your play groups? I mean, over there in the shop where you're at, because I mean, I can speak for who I play with, so can Bones. But what about our primos over there and TJ? What's that looking like?
It's very versatile. Everybody can plays precons. Everybody loves high power bracket 3. Right now, everybody's playing CDH because of the tournament that's coming up. So, and bracket 4, they'll play subpar commanders, but with the skeleton of a CDH deck, and it's everywhere. I mean, they're not really bothered by brackets. Like before the brackets existed and the powers, you would say like, oh, my deck's a 7 or an 8, a
Yeah, I remember
9,
that.
a 3. Yeah, we all remember that. And then before the bans and everything, I mean, everybody would just play the best cards they had in their deck and just sat down and played. And I love that that aspect too, like just sitting down and playing and not having to explain what your deck does, maybe. But now the more people are into Commander, I guess they don't like some
I
cards.
guess it's
They
it's a
want to have a
question
better
for you because you have
experience.
your yeah, it's a question for you, right? I want to ask this because I'm sorry to cut you off. I want to talk about the event you're having because it's something that you want to promote and definitely want people to go to it. Tell us about the event, and then I have a question for you about that to see if it's something you can
Okay.
answer.
Yeah.
But please tell us about the
Yeah.
event. Kind of please express what it's about and when it is, so people can kind of look for it.
So we're giving it a shot. We're organizing a CEDH event November 15th at Shiny Secrets. And that's the store that sponsors us. And we're organizing the tournament and giving it a shot. See if people want to play CDH. And we did it proxy friendly. So we didn't limit it or anything. You can kind of, if you don't have all the expensive cards, like you can build your whole deck with proxies as long as it has like magic art on it. But yeah, that's the gist of the event. We want to see if people want to play CDH competitively for good prizes and stuff.
I'm curious because how would that work? And maybe you can't answer because you're still figuring. This just happened yesterday, right? For us here in real
Yeah.
time. So how does that rule? I mean, rule zero happen? I mean, are you guys literally gonna have to like deck check people in a sense, or like kind of like walk around tables? Like that seems so like throws a wrench in tournament play in CDH, doesn't it?
For what aspect would you think I need to deck check in CDH?
Well, I'm saying, for example, like in CDH, it says no restrictions, so they can do whatever they want, right? So if you're
Yeah.
telling them, hey, you just know, like, so it's not necessarily deck checking, I guess. I think you're more, and I'm to answer my own question, like if there's no restrictions, like there's nothing really stopping you, so there's no holds barred. Is it more of like letting the crowd know, hey, just know you're walking into a room that there's no restrictions? Is that really just it?
Yeah, this happened for our bracket threes because everybody, when we started organizing the bracket three tournaments, so many people entered with precons, dude. They thought it was going to be like this jolly ride of just people playing 3-hour games and trading 1/1 creatures. But then they sat down and they're like, oh my God, bracket three, like every bracket has its own like ceiling. So when that happened, everybody was like, oh my God, bracket three can either be like low power bracket three or very crazy bracket three, like just to win the game. So we did have to change the title on the tournament because it used to say bracket three, but now we have to add the word competitive bracket three tournament. So you're expecting the highest quality of cards available in that bracket. So we usually try to let the community know through our rule set. When you sign up, it'll explain that, hey, this is a competitive environment. People want to win the tournament, and you have to set up your deck list with interaction and be ready to stop other people from playing because it's not
Be aggressive, but this is competitive. This is
yeah.
why you spent the time, the money, the energy, the calories burned into getting this deck built the way you want it, right? Especially if it's proxy friendly. I think it's awesome to bring people into the community, into the game. Um, that's exciting for you guys. And when is it again? November
15th.
November 15th. And they can just go to your socials for that.
Yeah, all our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. We're going to be announcing that, giving some more updates and for people to sign up. And yeah, I think Play to Win
Okay,
did it best. A CEDH channel, it said like the lower brackets are a war and the higher brackets are a race.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. A great way to put it. So check them out, of course, November 15th at Shiny Secrets, and follow, of course, and go look up One Land Hand MX. That way you can find out details about it and keep up with the tournament. I mean, we're going to be abreast to it. I'm sure they're going to post stuff about it. So we're excited to see how that turns out for you guys. And we're going to take a quick break, Primos. We're going to go ahead and just give you our last segment of the night here, bringing our pet cards in white. So just stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break. Pet cards, but I wanted to bring in some thoughts from la comunidad. We follow each other here. We're all, trying to get ourselves out there, promovernos. And I had a nice conversation with Ladies the Gathering, right? You guys work with them, right, Joseph? Ladies the Gathering, Vanessa, and
Shout outs to Vanessa.
There you go, Vanessa, muchas gracias. So we've been talking online, friendly here and there, and shout out. She threw some questions our way because she's curious as to what we think on a certain couple subject matters. No mucho, nada complicado, pero los voy a leer para aquí la audiencia y también. Bones, ¿qué te gustaría ver en la comunidad internacional que juega Magic? What would you like to see for the international community that plays Magic change or come to fruition? And what would you like to see in that community outside of the U.S.?
What would I like to see in that community? I think essentially what we're doing like now, I think we should have more intentional collaborations for no other reason than it is really hard to break into the established bubble for the lack of a better word, in like social media. So that's something that I discovered. It was, if you are making content that isn't directly made for American English speaking and in the United States, it's very hard to see content that is outside of the United States. So like, I think the only reason I really like stumbled across his Bear profile when I did was because he was making CDH content, and like he does do other like ones that in Spanish, but the majority of it is in English and it's pushed to an English audience. So that's how I discovered Bear. And then later on I discovered that he is in Colombia, he's Latino, you know, and we started speaking Spanish, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you are the first person that I have met that actually is like a member of our community. And having those intentional bridges will make it easier for other people to find each other. And it's kind of like what happened with us. Like I remember the first time I met the One Land Hand guys. I was in Vegas, and I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Willie who came up to me, and I don't think he knew how to ask the question at that time of like, do you speak Spanish? So it's kind of this like, and then he's like, you know, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. He's like, I got told by somebody that you are a member of our community, you speak Spanish. And I had the moment of like, oh yeah. And then it was so cool to see you guys be like, oh my gosh, yes, there's another person. And
right.
yeah. And it's really awesome to see those moments of like when we can connect and we make the realization that like, you get it. You are from the same bubble of, you know, being part of the community, but not being part of the community, for lack of a better word, because we do come from a slightly different background. And that does affect certain things on how we do, how we think, how we play, how we talk.
Eso sí.
So I think being able to have more intentional connections for the purpose of representation, I think is the way to go. And I'm glad that we're seeing it more, but I think we should just ramp it up. Make them be annoyed of us.
Piggyback that a little bit, para que digan esa, yo sé que es para Bones, pero quiero decir algo. Que se lance más gente, que se pongan, ¿qué les cuesta? ¿Cuánta gente no hay aquí que habla inglés? Que no hace, que te pone videos, hace un tech deck, abre de open packs, que se lance la gente latina también. Yo sí digo, like, ¿qué les cuesta? Todos los encanta ver eso. Un video de YouTube se hace en el teléfono, right? No les cuesta el tiempo, lo que toman sí es tiempo, pero que se lancen, hagan un video usted, una cuenta, que se lance la gente latina, la Latinoamérica. Me gusta que nos busquen, ¿verdad? Que es como dice Bones, la comunidad, que se busque uno al otro. Lo malo, y lo digo así de plano, neta, como dicen, el peor enemigo del latino es el otro latino, que no se ayuda y que no quiere a echarle la porra y ayudar, porque piensan que se va a acabar los ojos, que los van a ver. Hay bastante, there's plenty of eyes in the world. No se va a acabar la gente, no se van a acabar los ojos, ¿ok? Uno se aburre de la voz mía, hay como 50 otros vatos que van a hablar de Magic, ¿ok? Pero te digo que no van a ser como yo, como Bones, como Joseph, y no van a ser con ese entusiasmo, porque lo que es la gente latina, tenemos que apoyarnos unos a los otros. Y eso, láncense, pregunten, hay que armar esa comunidad, share the videos. Como dice Bones, let's ramp it up. Let's make it happen. Right, Joseph? What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think Bones hit the nail pretty much on what needs to be done. Active community, maybe some people that are not introverted can come out and hang and talk and maybe loosen up the community a little bit, have a chit chat about everything. And as you said, no hay nada. Hay una frase que dice, supporting another person's success will never ruin yours. Creo que va de la mano con lo que queremos hacer para la comunidad latina.
Mm-hmm.
Sí hay creadores de habla hispana, pero no se voltea mucho a ver al sur, a organizar eventos por
Suramérica, Centroamérica, México, lo que es Latinoamérica, ¿verdad?
Yeah. I mean, imagine having events casted by Latinos, like casting high-level tournaments, Commander, Standard, modern con esa calidad que tienen los torneos de Estados Unidos. I mean, that's a huge goal que creo que nos gustaría llegar, ¿no? Cobertura de eventos. I love the idea.
Así, a mí me encantaría tener más en español porque eso es lo que me cuesta a mí. No hablo español en mis videos no porque me hago de la boca chiquita. Eso fue culpa de mi mamá, porque mi mamá es de las personas de que tú no hablas Spanglish. Mi mamá decía, you're not Mexican American. Tú eres una mexicana en Estados Unidos. Y mi mamá era siempre de español, inglés, no los cruzas. Y como lo aprendí al mismo tiempo de chiquita, empiezo en inglés y pienso en español. Y la cosa con magia es que, obvio, toda la información, el contenido que tengo es en inglés. Entonces, no tengo la práctica de cambiar la mentalidad a todo lo que es magia en español. Entonces, sí, como que sé, tengo la respuesta, pero no traduzco. Así como, ¿es en inglés o es en español? A cambiar entre los dos, mi mamá.
Mira, había un comentario en nuestro TikTok, by the way, follow us at TikTok, Puro Pinche Magic on TikTok, un comentario que dijo, me encantaría tener un video, una videoserie que se traduzcan lo que es los elementos de Magic en español, porque muchos no lo saben. You know, cómo es el que dice deck, es el mazo, right? Draw a card es robar una carta. Son cosas que uno nunca no sabe. Una carta, una tarjeta, y no, es que depende, ¿verdad? De dónde viene, pero es que también de los dos lados, porque uno del otro lado, por ejemplo, el hispanohablante de que nativo, cuando, por ejemplo, mira el contenido de nosotros aquí, dicen, ellos son de allá, son americanos, no es igual como nosotros, y ya, somos diferentes, pero somos la misma comunidad y tenemos que apoyarnos unos a los otros. Ahí va, como dice, el idioma, lo que es nuestra actitud, nuestro modo de ser, y es lo que hemos dicho anteriormente, ¿va? En esa pregunta, pues todos le metimos la mano ahí, pero la segunda que nos mandó para nosotros, dice, ¿qué es lo que crees que le hace falta a Magic para que se integren más personas nuevas? Joseph, empezamos contigo, pues lo hacen ustedes, ¿no? En One Land Hand, Magic es para todos.
Creo que hemos cumplido la misión que nos pusimos desde un inicio, bueno, un poquito de prólogo a la historia de por qué empezó esto todo de One Land Hand. O sea, hay mucha comunidad en Tijuana que juega, pero está dividida. Hay gente que juega high power en una tienda hasta acá y otra gente que juega casual por acá y otra gente que por acá. I've met all of the community. I love meeting new people to play Commander because I want to know what everybody else is building, deck building, and it's crazy to get to know new cards from playing with other people. That's how I learned how to play Commander, and it was a beautiful, like getting to know everybody's cards. Like, oh, that's the guy that played that card, and so I got to know the whole community. And when I met Willie and we started this thing and Mario, we were like, dude, could we do something to just bring all these people together and like, what does everybody play? Commander. Okay, why don't we hold a tournament for Commander? Queremos reunir la mayor cantidad de gente jugando Commander en un lugar posible on this, and I think people responded positively around the whole event and the tournament, and like that's what started the movement. I mean, mucha gente empezó a hacer sus propias comunidades. Vanessa, Ladies the Gathering también, que eso es algo increíble también, o sea, que se junten tantas chicas para jugar Magic y que ellas, o sea, les estén educando en las reglas y tengan su espacio para jugar seguro y todo, es increíble. Y eso abre también espacio para, hay otra comunidad dentro de la mía que quiere hacer torneos CDH internos como en las tiendas, en otros cafés, y es como que that's crazy, like how one push this moved a whole community. Y creo que eso requiere de alguien que se atreva. Entonces creo que va de la mano con lo que dijiste hace rato también tú, primo, de que pues go for it, you know, o sea, si tú quieres.
Yeah. I like that. For me, think que es que la realidad es que especialmente para lo que es la comunidad latina, ¿verdad? Yo hablo de esa manera porque cuando uno va, y pasa cualquiera, any one of us, right? Even here in the US, any card shop you walk into, there's a feeling of uneasiness, especially if you walk in not knowing many people or it's your first time playing. You get overwhelmed by tanta gente, the verbiage, the energy, it could be off-putting. Like, oh shit, like, we've all been there. Nomás viéndote el partido así, kind of lingering, kind of watching. Tenemos que también hacer, es que mira, digo por experiencia, unos güeyes se pasan de creídos que son los meros o no sé qué putas traen, pero como que no les lleve nada. And I'm like, calmate, hijo,
Sí,
una cara. No, yo no hago eso. Oh, no, yeah.
sí.
Be open.
And even then, they're
be
chill
open
as fuck. Just saying.
No, yeah, they're just like, they're
Yeah.
chill. Just relax. It's cool, man.
You need
Like, we're
to know 'em.
okay.
You need to get to
We
know
get it.
'em.
It's a game.
That's how I learned how to
Eso
play
es lo que
Magic.
necesitan.
Yeah, there's some evil guys that play Magic very strongly. And like the first time I played Commander was with a precon, and they destroyed me so bad. They didn't even explain to me what happened. I was just like, oh, fuck these guys. I'm going to build my deck stronger, and then I'm going to beat them. And I was like, and then we ended up being great friends. These guys were assholes at the beginning, and I see them like, oh my God, these guys are assholes at first glance. But then you play with them more, and then like, oh my God.
Well, like
actually
what
really
Vanessa's
capable.
doing, right? Things like that. That Vanessa's doing, what you're doing, like the fact that they're opening up these spaces, y que se inviten. Like, no sé, mira, we're past the whole idea of this is a niche thing. Okay? Yeah, we're past this is only the geeks at the comic book store play Magic on Sundays. We're past all that. Pop culture, lo que es la cultura pop, esto ya está grande. Okay? When YouTubers are walking around with the Sonic Emerald on their neck like a fucking chain, we're past that. Ya estamos ahí. We're already in. You're already cool. Mira, oigan, you're already cool. You did it. The nerds are running things, okay? All right? Think about it. Everybody wants to cosplay. Everybody wants to play Magic. Everybody wants to play video games. Everybody wants to Twitch stream. We're doing it. All right? Y somos Latinos doing it. So, we do it with our own spice. So, let's just accept la comunidad, ayudarse uno al otro. And if you're, no se desanimen, y también la gente jugando, no sean güeyes. Come on, calm down. Be cool. Be cool about it. That's what I think is needed. Lower down that fucking like wall and just be cool. Be
Yeah.
cool.
I think
That's
that, and then the other thing that is recently like a pet peeve of mine and Eli's, it's not every local game store. So I will start with that. Some of them are amazing. Local game stores need to be more professional, some of them, because the amount of times that there's people who you can tell somebody came into some money and they opened a game store and like it's just become a hangout for their friends. And like that's the moment when you like walk in and it's like, so like there was a local game store that kind of opened up like kind of close to me and Eli, and we're like, hey, like let's go just check it out. And like it's nothing to do with like they're just starting out, right? So like I don't care what tables look like, I don't care whatever, like, but I care that when I walk in the door, I get greeted. I get told hello, how are you? That it's not that like I walk in and it literally feels like when you shine like a flashlight like on things and people just kind of go like everyone freezes and just looks at you. Yeah,
right.
And it's like I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of walked in and I kind of wanted to walk right out because like we walked in and
or it makes you feel like you're interrupting them, right? Like you feel like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a store.
And it's like I walk in and it's a full like 5 minutes before anyone says anything, and even then Eli, I'm pretty sure, was the first person to say anything, and then the moment hit of like, oh yeah, this is my store and I need to like go say hi. And I was just like, that is, it's so unfortunate. And like I get it.
We need to open our own stores. What you're saying? We need to open our own stores. Puro Pinche Magic. We franchise it.
Yeah.
All right,
dude,
and we make it happen.
Eli has talked about literally having a like course being like, is your local game store failing? Let me come and tell you why. Because like he'll walk in and it's the HR in him. He'll be like, it's this, and this.
Look, man, look. Mira, se vale soñar. I've said it before. Se vale soñar, right? Se vale soñar. If we never know, Primos, con el apoyo de la comunidad, somehow, some way, we blow up. We never know. We could be the next like professor, right? We blow up. Y mira, like we can do it, man. Like I'm telling you, like la oportunidad to have a place where people feel welcome, they feel appreciated as a customer and as a member of that, being a patron, right? Because they're gonna come spend money Like, people don't understand that if I go somewhere and I'm treated right, you gotta have a clean bathroom. I'm sorry, you
That's
gotta
my
have a
next
clean
point,
bathroom.
too.
Like clean bathroom. Please have a clean
Dude,
bathroom. Porque I can't tell you the times that I'm looking for cards. My wife's like, let's go, because I got to go to the bathroom. And I go, they have a bathroom here, and it's
Nope.
clean.
Nope.
you have no idea. That is not a bathroom.
That is not a bathroom. That's a storeroom where shit goes to die, literally.
My
But yes, have a clean bathroom.
my favorite local game
Yeah.
store, and like it was unfortunate for us, right? And it was great for them. It was like we had a place, we loved it, right? It still had its issues, but like overall it was inviting enough, right? But it was more of like the friends that we made there. And then we had somebody else after we decided to stop going there because of just personal business practices that we did not agree with. We went to this other place and I loved it. Like, it was just a super small hole in the wall. It was a very narrow shop, literally had fold out tables and plastic chairs. Like I said, don't care, especially if you're starting, there was talks about him moving to a bigger space, but then ended up being offered like a good amount of money for everything. And I was like, dude, I get it. Like, protect your own. But it
We
was
had to
so
just
nice
walk
of
away.
like, I walked in and people would say hi to me. Like, I was acknowledged right away. They had good stock. They had good things. They had a clean bathroom with like anything you could possibly need. Like, you would walk in
Accoutrements.
there, like you walk in there, there was always there's a functioning hand dryer, something to at least dry my hands with. He had like hygiene
Lotion.
products for anybody who needed them. Like that, like it's something so small of just like as a girl being able to like walk in and like it was owned by males. He had no need to have any type of sanitary product for females, but like that's just such a nice little thing of like,
You know what? I think that's a
Attention to
fucking,
detail,
like,
yeah.
that's a huge thing. That's a huge detail. No, man, like, I think that's great. So whenever we open a sucursal Puro Pinche Magic near you,
mhm.
we'll make sure, all right? We'll have Eli
Yeah.
and we'll have Bones kind of go through the stores and make sure they're running well. We'll have the one land hand guys kind of run all the tournaments, and I'll just run the behind the
Yeah,
scenes stuff, okay? So that'll be the thing we do.
we'll add some
All right.
charcuterie boards to it.
There you go, Charcuterie. Don't. I know where Bones
I
can
love
get a
that. I
cheese
love that
board
shit.
/ cover thing. She showed me, okay, so she can go find, someplace to keep pan dulce handy.
It's because like we'll put pan dulce,
We'll put pan
champurrado
dulce
in the
café.
winters.
Ooh, man. Ooh.
Like
Cafecito
Man, you know that's
champurrado.
true though.
Bah.
Unos chetos
No,
ahí
stop talking
también.
about bread.
But no, it gets messy because of the cards. No, because then someone's gonna
You
spill
need
something and
Cheeto
I'm gonna
puffs.
fucking lose my mind.
Yeah.
You need Cheeto puffs so you can eat them with a fork.
True, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. But, well, Vanessa, I hope that answers your questions, Prima. And, we're going to have her on the show soon, the Magic Gathering. And we're still going to get into our pet cards, everybody. Buckle up. This is a long episode, and let's get right into it so we don't deluge here. Who wants to go first? I think that we were talking about white today. Okay, we're talking about a
Went
pet
first
card in
last
white.
time.
Who did
Was it
go
me?
first last time? I think. Yeah, I think you
Okay.
went first last time. I think, Bones, you want to lead us off in white?
Sure, I can do that. So for white, I will say it's a silly card, but that's the type of player that I am. It was my first real pre-con, like honest to God, my pre-con. It is the removal generous gift. Is there better removals? Yes, but I love the fact that you get a 3/3 elephant.
Oh, goodness. Generous gift.
Here
I love
is
it.
your
I mean,
giant monster that you've built up. Have a 3/3 elephant.
Generous gift. Generous gift for those who are listening or not watching or not knowing. We're looking at 2 and a white. Instant. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token.
It's a white beast
Generous
within.
gift. Beast within. It's your beast within. I mean, it's a solid card. I mean, it's almost like stapley in white. Is that fair to say?
Dude.
I mean,
Una land.
Una land approved. They say 1 land hand approved right there. A generous gift, because then Stroke of Midnight was the new one, right? That's kind of the white kind of option as well in the newer sets. Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's just a great card. I think it's just an auto include almost in white.
And that's saying like this is like my like pet card because like I got Osgear and I was trying to like I think Strixhaven was like the first like real set that I was like really starting to delve into. And then Kamigawa Neon Dynasty was like the moment where I was like, all right, I'm a Magic player. I can't deny this anymore. But like just being able to sit there and look through my cards and then hitting this card that's like, what do you mean? I just get rid of your thing and I give you an elephant? Like it just seemed so silly and whimsical that I was like, I love that. That's great.
That's why I like. That's why I fucking run Swan Song. Like I love the fact that I can just poof, you get a bird. You know, like it's like I love Swan Song.
Loved the Bloomborough gift mechanics. It's like here's your tapped fish. Have fun with that.
Alrighty. So that's Bones' pick, and I'm gonna do mine. I'll let Joseph close us out on his. But mine coming up is an old school card. I say old school because I remember playing this way back when in the early knots. I'm giving you my age in the knots, the 2000s. It's one of my faves. I picked up this guy here. I'm gonna find the art that I really enjoy. But let me show you screen. And for me, it's an enchantment. It's in white. It is Story Circle.
Ooh.
Story Circle, if you're not familiar, it's a 1 white enchantment. And it reads, as Story Circle comes into play, choose a color. Pay a 1 white. The next time a source of your choice of the chosen color would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage.
Ooh.
The amount of shenanigans.
Dude, this is my go-to in white. This and Ghostly Prison were a toss-up. Because I was like, Ghostly Prison is kind of like, everybody knows it and your protection. But Story Circle, when I was playing Mirrodin block, Story Circle was the go-to. You know, because I used to just sit there and pound white and just pop. And standard, it would just pop. And Story Circle, don't fuck around and find out that I run 2 of them. Because then you're screwed. Like, especially if you're a multicolor. Like, that's it. You're locked in. Once this hits the field, as long as I have the mana and in white, if you're running small creatures, what have you, Story Circle is my go-to in white. It's a favorite. If you've never heard of it, have you guys heard of it beforehand or ever played with it?
No.
I've not heard
I'm
of
a
this
baby
card
to Magic.
Story Circle is a go-to. You don't see it played enough, man. You do not see it played enough because people don't want to burn their mana. But in Commander, you're sitting on mana. You think about it, this is a 3-drop. This is a 3-drop, you know? So come on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like thinking of how much damage that could do in a Boros. Not damage, but how much damage it could prevent in a Boros deck. Because like I have Chandra. It's a mono red deck, but like if I were to take some of those elements and make it into a Boros, the amount of times that I think it's oh shoot, what is it, the enchantment that on your upkeep every player gets dealt 2 damage. Like on your upkeep you get dealt 2 damage. Anything like that, you could just be like, and I don't take damage, but you guys take damage. Yeah, no, it's great. Also, Eli Chaos warped my Chandra into an Angrass Marauder, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment.
Primos, I want to make it. I'm gonna make it a saying, make it a shirt, make it something. Play more Story Circles in white, because especially if play more Story Circles, because you don't know. White it out. Literally, someone coming at you swinging huge.
I think someone can
boom,
take that
especially in
the wrong
multicolor. That's it. You know what I mean? Oh, that's true. Sorry. We don't want to do that.
Clip it. Clip that.
You know. Clip that. Alrighty. We'll stop sharing on that one. And Joseph, what about you, man? What is your pick in white?
Okay, this is a hard pick because white is, I guess, the least color, the last color that I would play. But I do like it. I do like it. It has tools.
Blue, so you know.
Yeah. I like it, but it has so many tools. Yeah.
Ooh, whoa! Shots fired at Calavera underscore.
We got to play games. We got to play some games.
Cosplay.
We got to play some games.
Okay,
yeah.
There you go.
All right, so my favorite card is from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. It is also a 3-cost card, and it's an enchantment as well. It's called Touch the Spirit Realm. It is an enchantment, but it has an ability that it's a channel. So do you want me to read that out, or do you want to put it up on the
No,
screen?
I'm putting up right now for you. It just pulled up on screen.
It's a beautiful card. Beautiful card.
Touch the spirit realm. Look at that. Go ahead, read it out.
Okay, so Touch the Spirit Realm is a 2 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you exile up to one target artifact or creature until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. That's good on its own. But the second ability is very hard to interact with because channel abilities are like special abilities unless something stops a activated or triggered ability. But you discard it.
It's almost impossible, dude.
Paying 1. Yeah, it's almost impossible in Commander. It's 1 and a white. You discard it. You exile an artifact or creature, same effect, but only until the end step. So the fun part about this is that it happens sometimes that, I don't know if you guys know, Dranith Magistrate, another famous white card that doesn't let you play your commander or play cards from anywhere other than your hand.
Yeah, from everywhere else, yeah.
So I would discard this, play my turn, cast my commander, and then at the end step, everybody... The guy that had the Dranith Magistrate comes back on the board, and everybody else can't play their commander anymore. So I could save myself, but everybody else gets the restriction again. So it's a cool
I'm gonna
card.
share.
Play with it.
I'm gonna share the there it is, so you guys can see that Dranith Magistrate. Your opponent can't cast spells. Okay.
So this is on your opponent's board. You can't cast spells from anywhere other than your hand. Like, everybody's like, oh, man, I hate that card. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to get to play because I'm just going to exile it for the rest of this turn. I get to play my commander, and then at the end step, it comes back. And it's a really fun card. I love it.
Interesting. That's cool. That's a cool interaction. I never thought of that because you're right. Like, channeling is like, what's it called? I'm cycling. Can't really stop it. I mean,
special ability. Yeah.
Yeah, special ability. I mean, unless I think Stifle is one of the ones that comes to mind. Like things that have that kind of even interrupter, I think has something like that. I forget if I'm just misremembering. But there's only a handful of cards that can really stop this ability.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's a really cool card.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna also give an honorable mention. Last time we did Black, we had a listener, a viewer, send in via TikTok, and just kind of give him some credit here real quick. He gave us his pet card. He said, hey, here's my pet card. This is for Pistolas off of TikTok, by the way. So thank you for following us, Pistolas. And their favorite card, let me kind of give you here. It's in black. It's big. Mm-hmm. It's kind of scary.
What?
Okay.
Oh. Ink Shield.
And you think it's Ink Shield?
No.
What do you guys think? It's a creature. I'll give you that. It's a creature.
I was being silly when you said it's expensive and big and scary. So I was making a joke that Ink Shield is not particularly big and scary and expensive.
Like 3 costs, right?
But it can do a lot of chicanery.
Can be. Yeah.
It can. It is a creature. I'm gonna break it down. I could do on all these videos. It's a creature. It's flying. It's in black.
Shrill Gengar.
Are we guessing?
You want to try to guess? Go ahead, try to guess it. What is it? It's okay. It's
so black creature.
You want to do the whole like? You want to do the? You want me to give you the cost? Okay, it's gonna be 3. Guess the card, win the card. You know what? I have a copy of this, so maybe it's not cheap either. Maybe, man, we'll do something.
Does it have?
It is text? A creature. No flavor text.
Vanilla. Okay.
Oh.
Not vanilla.
Oh, sorry, not vanilla.
Mechanics. Abilities, mechanics. It is in black. It is a 5 cost, 3 black. Creature. Flying, 4/4. Infect.
Creature 4/4.
Infect.
Dragon skeleton.
Oh, I don't know the name of it, but I can picture the art now.
Oh
it is.
I don't think I've ever heard of this card. Does it have like abilities? It has some mana abilities.
Skithrix the Blight Dragon. Skithrix the Blight Dragon. Legendary creature, dragon skeleton. Flying, infect, and also has the ability pale black. Skithrix the Blight Dragon gains haste until end of turn for 1 black. And then for 2 black, a black and a black, regenerate Skithrix.
Gross.
Damn. Disgusting. I was asked to pull this card out of my deck. I had a black deck, and they're like, "You need to pull this thing out. It's too oppressive." It was in a black green, and they were just like, "It's too oppressive." But this is what Pistola says. He goes,
That's
"You
a
know
spec
what?
card.
It has to be Skithrix Blight Dragon because it's a scary card, and it's more sentimental thing for me." That was one of the first cards that I actually saw when I really started getting into Magic. And the fact that everybody hated seeing it played made me love it even more. Even if it doesn't fit a theme for a lot of my decks, as long as they're black, I just throw it in for fun. So that is
That's
the
awesome.
epitome of the pet card. Yeah, you never seen this card, Joseph?
I did remember it. I think a friend of mine does play it in an infect deck, like in the theme of it. So I remember it, but I did not remember the name. But yeah, it's a great card. Scary.
I think
6 mana, haste, and 3/4/5. You have to pay 6 for the
three,
haste,
four,
but yeah,
five.
it's really good.
Yeah, 6 for the haste. I mean, that's sick, man. That's nasty. You know what? Second to control effect players, man. They don't get love. You know what I mean? They're in that same realm of like, oh, of course you run infect. Sure. You know, yeah, okay, yeah. Like that's a conversation that a lot of people that becomes a question. You know, what is that? A rule zero conversation with infect. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on infect before we end the night, guys? Infect's good, bad, or you don't care?
I think
Love it.
Good.
it's definitely a higher powered mechanic, but I have no problem with it as long as we know what you're walking into, you know? Like, again, it's just all about that rule zero conversation and trying to decide what type of game you want to have. If I'm trying to have a, no brain, lower power shenanigans, maybe I don't want to play against Infect. But if I'm like, all right, let's go, like,
Triumph of the Horde has been a fuck you card for the longest, and that's just like, oh my god, come on. Okay, fine. You're okay? Joseph's like, yeah, all day. How
Yeah,
many
I love
infect
it.
decks
I
do
play
you
that in my
have? I'm
elf decks.
guessing. Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, one land hand approved again. Infect. There we go, guys. But that and poison and toxic, right? It's all about that. You know what? It's cool. It's cool.
the other
Everything-
members are like,
everything's
what?
You know
We
what?
did not put our seal of
Heroes.
approval on that.
I know you have when
You
really
guys
like
are
what
very
the no
casual, for
we're
sure.
not on board. We're not on board on that. We're not on board
Come
on
on,
that.
Willie plays Shieldred
But
the Apocalypse as a commander. Come on.
yeah, okay, cool. You could die to poison. You could die to poison, Willie. Disculpa, you can. Okay. Hey, to be fair, I've been in white. I've been trying to get my hands on a Elish Norn Mother of the Machines because like that one is just like dirty in white, and I really am looking at one, and I really want to like build something out for that because yeah, it's a FU card all the way around in white. So hey, you know what? To each their own. Primos, that's what's good fun about Magic, about Commander, about what we like to talk about here. And we've reached the end of another show. I want to thank everybody, of course, for listening and watching. A little longer than we expected, but you know what? It's a lot of fun whenever you talk about a game that you love so much and the community that you're a part of. Como siempre les digo, I want to just kind of again toss it over to our co-hosts. Please follow Bones, follow Joseph, and of course follow One Land Hand, and of course follow, ladies, The Gathering. Give them a lot of love. Follow them as well for what they're doing, and just kind of kick it off to everybody here. Bones, where can everybody find you?
Yep, I am Bones. I'm Bones of Calavera Cosplay. You guys can find me at Calavera_cosplay on everything except Twitch. That's Calavera Creations. I stream Monday morning and usually Marvel Rivals. Wednesday is Miko with what we lovingly call ourselves the Breakfast Club because we are in detention 90% of the time. And then I think I'm going to start streaming like a Friday morning as well, just because I want to play other games, but I don't want to give up my Marvel Rival spot, specifically Hades 2. But I will be on a charity stream on November 2nd, and I believe everything goes to Extra Life. So come hang out, support. I think that's pretty much it for me today.
Cool. Joseph, what about you, man? Where can everybody find you, your team? Talk about the tournament. Please feel free.
So I'm Joseph from the team One Land Hand, and we're everywhere on social media: TikTok, Moxfield, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anything you're in, we're there. And we organize tournaments The next one that's coming up is November 15th. It's a CEDH edition, proxy friendly. And if you want to play, you're from the area in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, let us know. We are there. And yeah, that's pretty much.
And I am your Primo Freddy here, guys. Remember, you can follow along with us here. We try to bring you the content that you want to hear. Remember, I'm a big proponent of, if you don't see somebody like you on screen or hear them, be that person, right? My Primos Productions is about representation in all facets, be it pop culture, be it Magic the Gathering, be it whatever it is. We have a voice. Tenemos que ponernos hacia afuera para que todo el mundo los vea. No tengamos miedo. And I really appreciate everybody that has followed along. Me encanta ser parte de esta comunidad que está creciendo. And I really hope that we hear us coming together as we did. Because think about it, we all came together, we all gathered because of Magic, right? We all come from different walks, different things, different facets, but we always somos unidos, somos Latinos, and we want to make sure that we can keep this going. So please follow along at Puro Pinche Magic on our socials, as well as my Primos Productions. We do everything from pop culture, from a Latino lens, everything from comic books. We have artists on to talk about that. We have creators, everything from script writers. Oddly enough, there is a follower. She just started following us again. She is a guest we've had on my Primos podcast. She was a writer and animator for the cartoon Primos on Disney show. She's done a ton of stuff. She is part of the Universes Beyond team at Wizards of the Coast.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm inching my way to have that conversation with her and say, hey, would you like to come on and talk Magic on Puro Pinche Magic? Because, you know, she is a long Wizards of the Coast fan, is a creator. She's Latina herself. She's really voicing the idea of that you don't have to worry about being Latino enough, you know, and you also can not be unapologetically Latino in what you're doing. So I'd love to have them on. But Primos, what I'm going to say here is, as usual, pinche is a magical special word. No matter how you use it, the best way to use it is with friends, comunidad, and of course, pinche becomes magic. Cuídense, hasta la próxima.